Hello, fabulous third graders! Today we are going to subtract greater numbers. Let's try a word problem. 3 jumbo jets land at an airport. The jets carry a total of 1,445 passengers and 2,932 pieces of luggage. How many more pieces of luggage are there than passengers? Now, in order to solve this problem, we need to subtract 1,445 from 2,932. So to write this vertically, we write 2,932 minus 1,445. So we are going to start in the ones column. And I see already that 5 is greater than 2. So remember, bottom bigger, borrow and regroup. So I need to move to the tens column and borrow 1 from the 3, and I'm left with 2. And I bring 1 over to the ones column to make that 2 a 12. So now I have 12 minus 5, and that equals 7. Now when I move to the tens column, I see that 4 is greater than 2. So again, bottom bigger, we have to borrow. So we have to go to the hundreds column and borrow 1 from that 9, which leaves us with 8. And 1 comes over to that 2 to make 12. So now I have 12 minus 4, and that equals 8. Now when I move to the hundreds column, I see that 4 is less than 8. So I am simply going to subtract 8 minus 4 to get 4. And finally, we're going to move into the thousands column. And 1 is less than 2, so I can simply subtract 2 minus 1, and that gives me 1. So the answer to my word problem is there are 1,487 more pieces of luggage than passengers. Now don't forget to check your work. Remember, if we subtract going down, we can add going up. So we're going to start with 1,487 and we're going to add 1,445 to that. And our hope is to get to that 2,932. So let's check our work. 7 plus 5 equals 12. So we're going to write the 2 and carry the 1. 1 plus 8 plus 4 equals 13. So write my 3 and carry my 1. 1 plus 4 equals 9. And finally, 1 plus 1 equals 2. So there's that 2,932 that I was looking to get. So my work is correct. Let's take a look at a problem with a 3-digit difference. Let's say we have 8,653 minus 8,489. So when we start in the ones column, I see that 9 is greater than 3. So remember, bottom bigger, borrow and regroup. So I move to the tens column to borrow 1 from that 5. I'm left with 4, and I bring a 1 over to make that 3 a 13. And 13 minus 9 equals 4. Now, when I move to the tens column, I see that the 8 is greater than 4. So once again, bottom bigger, we have to borrow and regroup. So now I'm going to move to the hundreds column and borrow 1 from the 6, which leaves me with 5. 1 comes over to make that 4 a 14, and now I have 14 minus 8, and that equals 6. Now when I move to the hundreds column, 4 is less than 5, so I'm simply going to subtract 5 minus 4, and that gives me 1. But now take a look at the thousands column. If I subtract 8 minus 8, I get 0. But I'm not going to write that 0 because my answer is 164, and I don't write a 0 in front of the 1. So I'm just going to leave that blank. So my answer is 164. Let's try one more problem, this time with money, money, money. So let's say we have $43.46 and we want to subtract $28.54. So once again, I'm going to start all the way to the right and I see that 4 is less than 6. So I'm simply going to subtract 6 minus 4 and I get 2. Now when I move to the next column, I see that 5 is greater than 4. So remember, bottom bigger, we need to borrow and regroup. So I'm going to borrow 1 from that 3, which leaves me with 2, and I'm going to bring 1 over to the 4 to make 14. So now I have 14 minus 5, and that equals 9. Now, when I move to the next column, I see that 8 is greater than 2. So once again, bottom bigger, we need to borrow and regroup. So we're going to move and borrow 1 from that 4, and that leaves us with 3. And then 1 comes over to make that 2 a 12. So now I have 12 minus 8, and that equals 4. Finally, we move to the last column. 2 is less than 3, so I simply subtract 3 minus 2, and that leaves me with 1. And don't forget the decimal point and the dollar sign. So our answer is $14.92.